So that little home video you just saw was me beating the Fiverr algorithm, because that's what this video is about. This video is about a question I see all over the internet. People are just obsessed with the idea of beating the Fiverr algorithm, showing up in the top of search results, and just crushing it as a freelancer on Fiverr. So in this video, I'm going to talk about how or if you can do that. But before I do, I just want to say thank you all for joining me on this YouTube journey. Starting this channel was something really new to me, and it's awesome to see how helpful these videos have been, and it's awesome to see how many of you have supported through subscribing. So if you're here and you haven't yet subscribed, but you find this content helpful, it would be awesome if you considered hitting the little subscribe button. I really appreciate it. All right, so I'm just gonna start out with the meat and potatoes of this video, just so that there's no tricks or building up to some false excitement that you're looking for, and straight up say it. There technically is no beating the Fiverr algorithm in the way that I think a lot of people who are searching for ways to beat the Fiverr algorithm are probably hoping to beat it, right? So just like every other search engine out there, the one that comes to mind, Google, there's really no tricks or ways that you can consistently and sustainably beat the Fiverr algorithm, right? It's just not how it works. But there are things you can do that can kind of increase your luck or your surface area for luck as a freelancer on the Fiverr platform. So those are the things that I'm going to focus on in this video, the things that you can actually do that might have a positive impact on where you're ranking in Fiverr search. We're not talking about any sort of black magic tricks in this video, because they don't really exist. And if anyone you hear talking on YouTube is telling you there's like some tricks or back alley ways to rank highly on Fiverr search, I'm reluctant to believe it, right? So anyways, let's get into this list, and I hope these are all really helpful in you ranking higher in Fiverr search. So when you're creating your Fiverr gigs, your title, the thumbnail, the description, does the idea or topic of keywords come to mind when you're doing that? If it doesn't, it really should, right? And if you don't know what a keyword is, I'm going to give you my back of the napkin description right now so you can have an understanding. So keywords are words or phrases that people use to search for things in a search engine. They're the words that the search engine uses to connect whatever content you've put out there with what someone searching for that content might be looking for, by using common words or phrases that are similar in what people are searching for and in what they are ending up finding in search. So I hope that was a good description. So the value of keywords and why I'm bringing it up is, if you want to rank highly in Fiverr search, it makes sense to create your gigs in such a way that they include phrases or words that people are likely to be searching for. By doing this and putting this type of thought in when you're creating your gigs, you increase the chances that your gig is going to be surfaced in Fiverr search when someone's searching for it, right? It makes sense. If someone's searching for marketing emails and your gig has a thorough and robust gig description that mentions that you do marketing emails or words related to marketing emails, Fiverr might recommend your gig. So this is kind of the first step, and your gig is really the main area that you can really pack with keywords. So think about it. When you're creating your gigs, think about what keywords make sense in your niche, but most importantly, don't just stuff them in there and make it a mess of keywords. You also need the description to make sense and be helpful for someone reading it, right? So work the keywords into the description in a way where they're there, but it also sounds like a human wrote it and a human can understand it, right? So keywords are important. The next really important thing you can do to make sure you're ranking highly in Fiverr search is to always have it in your mind that you want to exceed expectations with your buyers. Now, why do you want to do this? Well, the obvious reason is to get 5-star ratings, right? So as a freelancer, we all know that sometimes we just have a project that we want to get done, the buyer's tough to work with, and we want to move on. But those could be the people that end up giving you a 3 or 4-star rating. And those 3 or 4-star ratings might impact where you show up in Fiverr search, right? Like Fiverr doesn't want to recommend people that aren't going to give their clients the best possible experience. Have it in your mind and just bake it into your being as a Fiverr freelancer that in every interaction with a buyer, your goal is to exceed expectations, and that'll minimize the amount of times you get a negative rating. And that will passively help you rank highly in search and really have the algorithm working for you. Because if Fiverr thinks you're a great seller who exceeds expectation, they're probably more likely to boost you up the search too. So the next two things you really need to think about that are kind of things you just need to bake into your day-to-day as a Fiverr seller is response time and minimizing order cancellations. So Fiverr tracks response time. On your seller dashboard, you'll notice that it breaks it down based on how quickly you respond. That information is also available to buyers searching for you. So when it comes to response time, you want a fast response time from the buyer perspective because they're more likely to reach out to you if they think you're going to get back to them quickly, right? Also, from Fiverr's perspective, if you have a really slow response time, like 12 hours, 24 hours, multiple days, I mean, I probably wouldn't have much faith in your seriousness as a freelancer if I was Fiverr, so why would they, right? So just use common sense here. It's a good best practice to respond as quickly as possible. Have Fiverr installed on your mobile device. If you get a message, you can hit them back up quickly. You know, obviously an hour would be the best, but you don't need to like go crazy to respond instantly. Within like six to 7 hours or like a half day is reasonable, especially given that we're all in different time zones here. So think about response time. The second thing that's super important, and I hear about this a lot, like almost every week in the comments, someone saying, hey Mike, how do I recover from getting hurt by having a canceled order? The short answer is you need to not have a canceled order, right? I know this sounds like, well, how do I avoid having a canceled order? What if it's not my fault? As freelancers, it's our duty to do everything in our power to make sure we are not having orders canceled. So that involves taking the time to properly understand the buyer's requirements before they place an order, proper communication with them during the order, a speedy delivery, a delivery that meets their expectations, kindness, politeness, everything. We need to go above and beyond to make sure orders aren't canceled, because orders that are canceled do affect seller stats. So many people tell me that they get an order canceled and their impressions, views, clicks all drop almost immediately, and it's kind of unpredictable to know when they will recover. And the only way to recover using just common sense is by not getting canceled orders in the future. So just try not to get into that trap. This goes back to going above and beyond. You know, find a way in a situation where a buyer is thinking about canceling to make it work for them. If you need to reset expectations, if you need to modify pricing, if you need to change the delivery timeline, or just maybe run a new discovery workshop or messaging flow with them just so you better understand what they're looking for, you need to do whatever it is you can do to avoid cancellations, because the short and fast of it is they're going to hurt any freelancer, because Fiverr as a platform doesn't want cancellations, right? They're a platform that makes money off people placing orders, orders getting completed, and the buyers who place these orders placing repeat orders. If buyers have a bad experience and need to cancel, they might go to a different freelancing platform, and that's not good for Fiverr, so that's not good for us. So response time cancellation is really important. Keep a low response time and minimize cancellations. 0 is best, but you know, if something happens, you just got to move forward when that happens. So those are two very important things. All right, so that's it. There are no magic tricks to beating the Fiverr algorithm, but there are things you can do to increase the likelihood of you appearing highly in Fiverr search. And I think what I mentioned in this video, these are all some of the basics that you can do that will make sure you're getting up there. Stop trying to beat the system if that's why you're at this video, and just start doing the right things. You know, put in the reps. You know, any bodybuilder will tell you, you got to get in the gym and do the reps to get the gains. It's the same with Fiverr. There are no shortcuts. There are no shortcuts at all. So I hope this video is helpful. There's a ton of other resources on this channel to help you out. And if you have any questions, leave one in the comments and I'll do my best to answer as quickly as possible. So until next time, cheers.